I can't get over this whole obsession with Rey, man. And I just want to like double, triple down on this and really get people to realize what's going on, okay? So again, this is not a story-driven thing. Okay, there's nobody in the fucking world, maybe I shouldn't say nobody in the world because maybe there's a couple of people, right? But there's nobody that grew up on Star Wars, that had their life affected by Star Wars, that's like my age or, you know, older or a little bit younger. There's nobody that loves Star Wars, super passionate about Star Wars, that has this burning desire to do a Rey movie or to make content about Rey, right? That's just not a thing, guys, okay? I'm sorry, but that is the elephant in the room. That is the whole fucking conversation. That's the whole thing that we're talking about here. It's a bad character. You fucked up the sequel trilogy. It's a bad character. I'll just say it again. You fucked up the sequel trilogy. It's a bad character. Now, I'm all about rehabilitation. I think you could rehabilitate the character, but that doesn't feel like that's what you're doing. It doesn't feel like that's what's happening, right? So let's talk about Lucasfilm and their plan for Rey beyond this movie and what they've been doing. Because Sean and this film, yes, it came together over the last year or so, but there have been many pitches, many different things that have been going on. So the main thing is, we know that the Rey film and Rey as a character has been something that Lucasfilm has been obsessed with going back to. In the original version of the Damon Lindelof movie, which was the version of the Rey movie before Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, they were actually going to age Rey up. They were going to have Rey in her 60s or 70s, played by a completely different actress, and they were just going to move past that era, but they were still going to use Rey. Now, we don't know exactly what happened there. We don't know the exact beef between, Lindelof and his writing partner and Kathy and all of that. But what we do know is that basically within a 2-week period of handing that script in, Kathy went on stage and literally brings Daisy Ridley out on stage. Now, let me just... there's a reason I get into such detail. There's a reason I get so hyper fixated on certain things, and I want to try to explain why. What this indicates is that Lindelof was likely told to make a movie about Rey. Now, we don't know that 100%, right? But doesn't that make sense, guys? Doesn't that make sense that, like, you know, Lindelof wants to do a Star Wars, or maybe Kathy approaches him on a Star Wars? There's this whole idea right here. Again, because there's no fucking way in hell that a person like Damon Lindelof, like, do you understand what I'm saying here? There's basically a 0% chance that Lindelof was sitting around with the perfect Rey movie idea. 0%, okay? So instead, what happened was Kathy said, hey, Mr. Damon Lindelof, please make us a movie about Rey. Now, Lindelof's movie, who knows whether or not Kathy was super down with Rey being older or not, but because I know the type of writer that Lindelof is, and I just know how his mind works, I'm going to just say that I think he probably took the idea into the natural place that he would want to see the story, and he wants to go way into the future. And he's not really interested in Daisy Ridley, but sure, maybe there could be something interesting in the character of Rey, especially if you go 30, 40 years into the future. Okay, and you can look at some of his other stuff. Like, I think even Watchmen is a good example of this, where a lot of the juice of his Watchmen show is in conceiving of what would happen in the future with those characters, far into the future, right? Anyway, the point is this. Lucasfilm wants some Rey shit. Lindelof's writing this thing. Now, for Daisy Ridley to be brought out on stage within 2 weeks of that script being turned in, what that indicates is that there had been meetings going on, and that Kathy was thinking about bringing Daisy back basically the entire time. Now, I don't know this for sure, but it is possible that Kathy told Damon, make me a Rey movie, and then she went to Daisy and said, I have Damon Lindelof on a Rey movie. This is going to be so incredible. And then it's possible that Kathy sits down and looks at the script and is like, oh my fucking God, this dude wants to do a 70-year-old Rey that's not even Daisy Ridley. Well, guess what? I'm sorry, you're fired, and I'm bringing Daisy out on stage, and now we're going to hire Steve Knight, and Steve Knight isn't even the writer anymore. So why did I just go through that last 5 minutes to explain all of that bullshit to you? The main reason is because this is basically the same goobly glock that fucking LucasFilm has always done. This is the same reason that they fucked up the sequel trilogy. It's the same reason they're fucking this up right now. It's not about story. It's not about characters. It's not about vision. It's not even about brand, really. It's about Kathy, her assets, her character, and the things she desires. And not to say you can't make corporate art like this, because you can. You absolutely can. But just understand what's happening. Understand that Kathy and the leadership at Lucasfilm, at least part of the leadership there, is just trying to get Rey to be a continuously valuable asset for the company. Doubling down on the character that was created during the sequel trilogy. That's what it's about. And so again, this is why, like, the Levy thing, it breaks my heart to say, but I can't get excited about Sean Levy's vision and this thing he worked on for years and years and years, because it is essentially a rehabilitation movie for the character of Rey. Again, no way Damon Lindelof is sitting around thinking about a Rey movie. No fucking way Sean Levy is sitting around thinking about a Rey movie. That's just not how that shit works. Nobody sits around and thinks about, hey, that terrible ass character from that trilogy that almost killed this franchise I love. Oh, dude, what's the story with that character? Like, do you understand what I'm saying here? Do you understand what I'm fucking saying here, guys? Nobody's doing that shit. So that did not happen. That's not what's happening. What's happening is some fucking suit. It's a pantsuit, you know. It's Kathy. So she is out there trying to court talent and fucking weave this evil web of getting them to basically just do what she wants them to do. They become her hands, and that's why it's fucked up. So let's just go over this then. We had the fucking Simon Kinberg trilogy. Right? That's 3 movies that are all supposed to be with Rey. It would appear, like, this is the way that I'm kind of seeing this, is it seems like Levy's movie is like, oh, here's what the galaxy looks like, and we got to get this kid to Rey. And then it feels like then we got Rey. We're going to do the Charmin Obed-Chinoy movie, which explores her and the new Jedi. Okay? Then that movie is likely then to lead into episode 10. Episode 11. Episode 12. That's the plan for Rey, guys. So you have, and I would say 5, I said 5 Rey movies. I would say this all the time. I'd be like, I hope you guys realize you're getting 5 Rey movies. Maybe even 6, actually. Because I've heard there's another one that's going to have Rey in there as well. So 6 Rey movies. It's not a joke. It's not a meme. It's not a worst case scenario. It is the fucking plan. It is what they are doing. They are giving you a new movie that leads to Rey. Then they're giving you a movie that's all about Rey. Then they're giving you a trilogy of movies in which Rey will be a huge, huge part of it. So I ask you, chat, how does 5 Rey movies feel? How does the future of Star Wars feel to you, knowing that that is what they are doing? What if Amy Adams is Mara Jade and the kid is Luke's son? So that's like basically next to impossible now. And actually now, if they did that, I would hate it. Because what that would indicate is Luke actually had a biological son and was knocking boots with Mara on the island when Ben was around. And it never gets fucking mentioned? No way. No way. No way. 0% chance. Like, and by the way, like, hey, maybe that's something they want to do. Worst idea ever. The stupidest fucking idea I've ever heard in my fucking life. No way. Yeah, my last super chat is about Mara. Okay, I mean, I'll look at a couple of these super chats. I'm just telling you guys, like, that is terrible. That would be fucking awful. Sky Knight says, Josh, why don't you like Rey? I think she's cool. Brother, you might think she's cool. I think this is bait, by the way. I think it's just fucking baiting. She's a terrible character from a terrible trilogy. That is widely accepted fact. You might not think it's fact. The burden of proof is on you. The burden of proof is not on me. The burden of proof is on you. This character is ass. Star Wars is dead to me, says Darth Bobbitt. Dude, Star Wars is such a terrible franchise. It's such a terrible franchise. it has good things at its core. It has awesome shit, and George created something really special. But like, it is so bad, dude. It's so fucking bad. Real Ben Maynard says, "I'm so anxious. They're gonna take Amy Adams, Mara Jade. Please don't, Disney. Don't screw her up. Tinfoil hat." I could see how you would think that, brother. No way they're gonna do that. I mean, if they do that, it'd be the worst fucking possible thing that they could do. It would make 0% chance. It would make zero. I can't even think. My brain doesn't even fucking work, dude. I'm so fried by this shit. Oh my God. Holy. Yeah. Okay. Valiant says it's a red herring. Gosling will take the kid to really old May and Osha, Acolyte 2, Electric Boogaloo. Is it crazy that I'd prefer that? Is it crazy that I'd prefer that? Is it crazy that I'd rather do fucking Power of Many, lesbian, witch magic, just the tip, lightsaber, color change, popsicle bullshit? I'd rather do all of that. Is it crazy that I'd rather do that? You know, there's this thing that happens, man. I don't know exactly how to explain this, but like, maybe you didn't notice. I really don't like Rey. And it just, there's something about like when they just keep trying to make Rey happen, it just pisses me off so much. Like, I could actually just not like Rey and that would be fine. But like now we're to the point where I don't just not like Rey. I'm going to act irresponsibly whenever Rey gets brought up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm at. Grandmaster Choda says, "I'm so motherfucking mad, man. Fuck everything about this nauseating handling of this once beloved franchise. Your crash out saved me from..." Oh, hey, don't be joking about all that, brother. You know what I mean? But I hear you. I appreciate it. Duggaditch says they'll never get all the way to 6 Rey movies. The commercial performance won't be good enough to keep the shareholders happy. Nerd Ventures for life. Hey, man, I'd love to believe that would be the case, but like, where are the shareholders now? Who are the shareholders right now that are like, you know what, this sounds like an incredible plan? You know? I don't know, man. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy. This is crazy, man. And what a time to come back to Nerd Theory. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's so fucking crazy because like, I was actually optimistic on this Gosling movie. Some of the stuff was getting me excited. And then like the Cade Skywalker. Here's the thing about the Cade Skywalker thing, right? Because everybody's going to be like, oh, Cade Skywalker, of course. Of course that was never going to happen. Guys, that's what they took from us. You know? And it's like, I get it. And I understand it's all memes and jokes and shit like that. But like real talk. Back in the day, we used to have fun, crazy ass theories. We used to like speculate about this shit. And it was crazy. And the Cade Skywalker thing, for as goofy and as silly as it seemed, it got people's attention. It had people talking. It had people being like, oh, bro, you know? And I guess fuck me for getting excited about that possibility, dude. Holy shit. Like, it is really a depressing state of affairs. My God, Star Wars. My God. And like, look, I'm sorry. I'm telling you right now. This hate machine is fully operational, okay? I'm back on Nerd Theory, and real talk, I'm going to fucking flame this movie every chance I get up until it releases. I'm going to make it my personal mission to spread the gospel of how much bullshit is going on in this film to as many people as possible. Every chance I get for the next fucking year, I am going to get super toxic about Rey. Super toxic about this movie. Like, that's what it is. I'm sorry, man. Fuck you. That's what it is. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What did I miss, Josh? Oh, nothing. Everything's fine. 6 Rey movies coming down your throat. Coming right down your throat. Forcefully. whether you really wanted it or not. Open wide. Locationary says, I really do wonder any of Ahsoka characters tie into the sequels then. Where the fuck is Ezra, Grogu, etc.? I don't know, brother. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. This is, yeah, and then somebody says Warhammer's success is the best revenge. But this is what's crazy about that. So, like seriously, like Kathy, everybody over there, like, just understand what's about to happen. Warhammer is about to be a thing. It's going to be very masculine. It's going to be high T. Okay? I think you're going to see a lot of that kind of entertainment come out in the next couple of years. I think if you look at the way certain things are shifting, I think Marvel's going to probably go, tend in that direction. Please, Marvel, for the love of God, tend in that direction. I think a lot of shows on Amazon, a lot of these other things, like, who knows what the Mass Effect is going to be, or anything like that. But my point is this. They're going to be trying to make Rey happen while Warhammer's like, dude, you want to smash some Xenos fucking brains in for the fucking Emperor and just be boys? Hey, you want to just be fucking boys for the Emperor? And dudes are going to go crazy for it. People are going to go crazy for it. It's going to be embraced, and people are going to find a home. And it's going to be like, fuck yeah. And then Star Wars is going to be like, but Rey has the name Skywalker. Bro, I'm like, and then like I'm being hyperbolic in a sense, but I'm actually like not that far off of what's going to happen. And then it's like, how are they going to defend themselves then? What the fuck, bro? Like, it's going to be 3 years from now, and they're going to be like, hey guys, remember Rey? And fucking Henry Cavill's going to be like, I wanted men to watch this and feel like they took Guatemalan steroids straight into both of their testicles with their nipples connected to fucking electric shock machines. You know what I'm saying? Like Cavill's gonna make us feel fucking incredible. Like we're gonna want to run through a fucking brick wall. And then Star Wars is going to be like, hey, this is Rey. Remember when Luke drank the titty milk? Valiant Renegade, hey, appreciate the support today, man. The average shareholder and analyst knows nothing about making movies in general, which is so low on the Disney tent pole of overall revenue and profit, even in 2019, that they just want to know something is coming out. Hey, that's fair. And that sucks, man. That kind of sucks, but I think you're probably true. But again, or you're probably correct. What I would argue, though, is that once this becomes so obtrusive for the cash flow overall or for the value of the stock, right? Because I think Star Wars in some ways has become so goobly glom that you could argue its effect past just the movie performance is actually hurting Disney in multiple ways, right? But yeah, I think that's probably true. Is like they don't really fucking care, bro. They're just like, is something coming out? And it's funny you say that too, because it speaks to something Grace talks about a lot. Grace Randolph says this a lot, where she says, you'd be surprised at how many people that have power in Hollywood don't even watch movies. And they're really like not that big of fans of movies, right? So yeah, what you're saying tracks. MK Matt says, I hate to be the optimist here. We knew Rey was coming, so maybe Levy's is the best guy to turn the character around and set something up for the future. So look, you know what? MK Matt, I'm going to do you a solid here, okay? Because I understand and I actually appreciate the spirit of what you're saying. The problem is the leak says that the plot revolves around getting the child to Rey. So it's hard for me to imagine rehabilitation for that character when she's not a part of the plot. She's like a tool of the plot, right? And I mean, look, I would love to be wrong, and I'll stand corrected if they actually handle this the right way. There is a way that they could rehabilitate Rey. I don't know that this is the way to do it. This could be the intro into it, but again, it just feels like a faulty idea. If you want to rehabilitate Rey, rehabilitate Rey. You know what I mean? Darth Baba says, last good experience I had was Revenge of the Sith re-release, and glad it was the last. I mean, it was very good. Yes, that was incredible. That was incredible to experience in a theater. Yeah. Hopefully, Iger's departure will spur some change. Well, yeah, I mean, I think Iger, Kathy, a lot of these older folks are on the way out, and I think Disney needs new life and everything like that. The problem with Star Wars is just like, is Dave going to just keep this plan, right? Like if real talk, if Starfighter bombs, which at this point I'm literally rooting for it to bomb, how gross is that? How fucked up is that? This is what you created. You took a thing that I was actually really looking forward to, that I wanted to support, and now I'm rooting for it to fail. Why? Because a corporation decided that thing had to connect to one of its valuable assets. It's inorganic. It's not natural. It kills my suspension of disbelief. It's these fucking suits trying to get this creative person to do their bidding. And that has made me want to root against you. It's disgusting. I hate it. I hate that that's where we're at, but that's what it is. Rehabilitate. Good one, Grandmaster Choda. Good one, bro. You're correct, Josh. The problem is that they're hyper-focused on parks and TV streaming revenue. They have already largely unfocused on movie franchises, especially Star Wars and now Marvel. Yeah, that tracks too. I mean, that kind of goes along with some of the reporting we were talking about where, they're looking for new franchises potentially to get young men on board with Disney because they might even not see a really good way forward for both of these other franchises. So yeah, that tracks, man. It's like, I get it. And I think that, I mean, look, that is part of the problem. That's the corporate balance, right? Is sometimes it's hard to get the perspective of what will downwind be a big problem in the business, especially when it starts as like creative decisions for even just a low operating part of, the company or whatever. But, man, what a fucking time, man. I can't fucking believe it, dude. And, God, I just think this is such a stupid, terrible idea. I just want to strongly push back against this, chat. That's all. Sorry if you like it or whatever, or you think I'm being really toxic or whatever. I'm sorry, man. But I just want to strongly push back against this. Propa says, not including Anakin in the sequel trilogies was such a mistake. He is Star Wars. A Force Ghost scene would have tied it all together. Yeah, I agree. Lou says, never forget Star Wars was made for 12-year-old boys. Yep, I mean, that's what George said, That is what George said. Okay, all right, so that's all of the fucking goobly glub and the bullshit with regards to Rey and all of that. Okay.